Nyrsko, in the early days, the burnt family, that's possibly my mother. It is my grandfather, and that's my grandmother, and that is Louisa for sure. This picture is Nello and Louisa and my grandfather and grandmother. Some of these pictures get a little hazy because they were taken from very small prints, grandfather and grandmother. And there's Nello and Louisa in the background, possibly my mother right in the front there. Nello and Louise in the early days, tennis racket. And my mother also with a tennis racket, probably in Nyrsko. And this is her driver's license. This is probably in the house that we're going to be visiting. And that's my mother. Don't know who the other two are. And here we are in Nyrsko. These photographs are from Gabriella, the only pictures we actually had of the house prior to going there. And here we are today, what the house now looks like. There's the intrepid group. And if you're thinking of moving in, this is what the house looks like from the back. This is the creek in front of the house, across the street, in Gabriella's picture. And this is what the creek looks like, probably from the same spot today. They fixed it up a bit. And this is the other side of the creek from the other side of the house. We couldn't find the factory, so Alex had the idea of going to the museum and asking them. This was a one-man operated museum, and upon our arrival and Alex's introduction, he made some phone calls and all these people showed up. We're going through some old photographs, and this is his wife, I think, who was very excited because she's the town historian. I don't know how to translate Czech, so we'll let her do the talking here.
Pak zbytek života žil ve Stuttgartu, tam i zemřel, ale tady se narodil v Nýrsku, napsal Červeného nepomuka a to se stalo vlastně čtanka, bylo to v čínštině, v japonštině, v mnoha světových jazycích. Takže ukazujeme věc.
Jasně, jasně. Chtěl jsem se zeptat, jestli bychom teda mohli poprosit nějakou fotografii, nějaký zmínky o té tonárně nebo o rodinní vrtě. A i jsme teď slyšeli, když jsme byli dole v knihovně, tak jak říkal pán, že vlastně rodina Bertů velmi dobře vycházela s rodinou how was the name of this family? Taser?
Tilly?
No.
Tenzer, rodina Tenzerů. Něco takového. Myslím, že to byl doktor v té době a měl syna.
A mluvíme o době jaké teda?
Mělo by to být začátek toho 20. století. Oni vlastně emigrovali před druhou světovou válkou, to znamená, jestli založili továrnu 1904 a opustili republiku někdy, já nevím, kolem roku 1938, tak zhruba v tom období. Ano. Chtěli bychom, jestli by byla možná aspoň nějaká fotografie továrny nebo něco takového. Po případě nevím, jestli náhodou nezůstali někteří jakoby členové rodiny stále v Nýrsku a jestli třeba se na hřbitově nenacházeli.
Translation.
No, I was just asking or telling what we are looking for, and if it's possible to look for some pictures since
Or the location
the
of the factory.
19th century till 1938, let's say, when your family emigrated, and look for some pictures, some information, and if they have some information of the persons from the family which didn't emigrate, which stay here if they are on a cemetery or what happened with them. 1904 was founded the factory.
Wait a minute, stop. Oh, it's going. Sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
Those are childhood.
And they were exporting the tools to the whole world.
And the factory was opened in 1904.
Was founded on 1904.
And
yes,
we are, where are we right now?
At the Museum of the Nyrsko.
In
And in the Czech Republic, yeah.
In what used to be called Neuern in German, but is now called Nyrsko?
So at the museum, the burnt family is apparently quite notable, and this was on the wall, and these are some of the museum pieces that they showed us. And old pictures of the town were also available. Note it's Neuern in the print there. And the final picture here that comes up actually has the house in it, as it probably looked when my mother was living there. This is Neuern. They told me where that chimney is where the factory was. And this is where my mother probably went to school, that is the local school. Here's the factory, the picture is from Gabriella, and that's the only picture she had. This is the view from the same place today, and we determined that that building in the forefront is the office building. Probably behind it is the optical company, and the real factory is down the hill a little bit, and this is it. Siegfried Berndt Tool and Die Factory. Two buildings. You're going to see the second in a minute. And there's the manager of the optical plant. It was the original plant after Sigmund Fried built his. This is the other building, which we took a little tour of. I suspect, and this is just a guess, that it was probably a warehouse for raw materials before taken into the tool and die factory. Here we go into the burnt factory.
Monarchy. He was one of the biggest exporter of this farming tool at the time.
So the Ocula factory was the first one here.
Yes.
And then people heard about it.
Something like that.
And so he came probably from Austria.
Yeah,
built-
for sure.
built-
Ocula came from Vienna.
Yeah. So built a factory, supplying perhaps some things to Ocula for their equipment, and went in business.
Yeah, yeah.
Tady prostě bylo vízení těch svědků, tady byly smíšený manželství, smíšený rodiny, tak já nevím, odkud pocházíte třeba z vy.
Z Roudnice, akorát hranice.
Ano, to je taky hranice
Sudet.
Sudet. A tady třeba můj děda se jmenoval Eichinger. Čili tady ty rodiny v klidu žili pohromadě a
to už jsem jim vlastně
světová válka to rozbila.
To už jsem jim vlastně říkal, že všichni tady žili dohromady, neměli problém a najednou odsunutí Češi, pak na juz odsunutí Rakušáci nebo Němci zpátky. Bohužel.
A tady teda speciálně třeba z Litoměřice a ta rovnice tam to pohraničí zajímalo hrozně hluboko, jako do vnitrozemí stejně tak jako Plzeň mířaný Dobřan. Vlastně vlak, který jde z tohoto do Plzně, za války projížděl jako hranicema, jako říše a Čechama. Tam je hluboká jako toto. Když to u Domažlic, Chodsko, tak tam zase byl jakoby ten výběžek, tam nebylo nic, tam to bylo až hranicím český. Takže
právě mají část.
So this is the where the tool and die machines were in the factory. He's pointing out on his catalog that they still actually show pictures of the old factory building.
Now slowly, let's repeat the story. You phone somebody, and they mentioned, okay, what happened? They mentioned the Bird family.
Yeah, well, the lady, which was a wife of the guy in the library,
she was interested about the history of the town, and she actually knows some of the person in the town which used to know the family Berndt, and it was like I don't remember the last name of it was something like a Tanger or something like that, and he was a doctor and he was quite big friend with Siegfried Berndt, and he had a son, and he remembered because I think it was the son or son of the son,
The Tanzer family had a son.
yes, and he remember or he heard about, I don't know if it was this person or son of, but heard about in the Berndt family, this person which owned the factory had 2 daughters at that time, and both of them were very beautiful, and he fell in love. The son of the doctor fell in love. They were friends, and fell in love with both of the girls because they were beautiful.
So who were you? So who?
Well, there we are after the tour. Again, picture of my grandmother and my mother. Another picture of my mother doing something. And this is Renee and her mother, Mitzi, many years ago. My mother heading to the tennis court. And my mother in Vancouver. And another photograph, her smoking. This is probably in Canada somewhere, probably in the early days. And this is Nello and Louise, same time period in London. And Nello and his Jaguar. My mother playing cards and doing her thing.